Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone, to the Prevention and Early Intervention Quarterly Collaborative. Glad to see you all here today. As we're letting everybody in, I will just ask that you please make sure that the name on your screen matches with the name that you registered for today's meeting. That would help us with attendance. We greatly appreciate it. And hopefully all of you have prepared your lunch and we'll all have a nice lunch together as we are learning some new things or learning about PEI programs and activities. Because I know myself and my team will be enjoying our lunch, so I hope you are too. And let's see. We're going to just give a couple seconds to see if anyone else joins us. I think our meeting will be a little bit lighter today because it is um, the summer, and so people are probably on vacation, but we are so glad that you guys joined us today. And so, as we continue to allow folks in, I want to welcome you again to the Prevention and Early Intervention Quarterly Collaborative Meeting. I am Diana Gutierrez, the Prevention and Early Intervention Manager, and happy to have you guys here today. Um, we're going to go ahead and get started and just get to know a little bit about who is here with us today. So we have a little poll to learn a little bit more about each other, and I am going to launch a poll right now. And so we just want to know what region of the county that you represent, who you serve, what best describes your work setting, and then just for fun, what do you value most when it comes to teamwork? And it's not going to let you fill it in on the poll. It's I did that on purpose. I'm going to have you put it in the chat. So when you get to question 4, just turn to the chat and you can answer that question. What do you value most when it comes to teamwork? Oop, all right. Right, I see some folks are answering. About 60% participation. Let's see if we can get everybody to participate. Today, we're getting close, 70%. All right, we're getting closer. I want to get to at least 80, you guys. You know us in PEI, 80% is our base marker. So let's see if we can get to 80% on this poll. What region you come from, who you work with, what kind of agency you're with, and then what do you value most when it comes to teamwork? We're almost there, you guys, 76%. Let's see if we can bump it up a little bit and get a few more of you to respond to that poll. I'm going to give it about 12 more seconds. And we hit 80. All right, well done. Well done. So I'm going to go ahead and end the poll, share the results with you all so we can see who's with us today. So we have a great representation across the whole county and a lot of you that serve the whole county, which is really awesome, as PEI does as well. We're across the county. That's why we want to make sure that we have folks from every part of our county that are learning more about PEI programs. And then, yeah, everybody pretty equally across serving the entire age spectrum, as PEI does that as well. So we're glad to have you all here with us. And we've got a lot of folks from behavioral health. We've got schools in the house. Awesome. Higher ed, welcome. And lots of community-based organizations. And that's so terrific. Thank you so much. And now let's take a look at the chat to see what you value most in working with a team. And can you guys see that? Hold on. You guys can all see the chat. And I think for me, I value so much in a team, among other things, collaboration. Working together is really, I think what, that saying, teamwork makes the dream work. I think it's true. We really put together a better product when we work together and put our brains together, and no one person has all the answers at the same time, or at the, it's the only right answer. And some other great options here. People are putting in communication. Yes, is critical. Connecting with others. Yeah, I love in-person meetings. And so, because you're able to connect in a very different way, even though virtual brings us all together across greater geography. Fairness and trust, yes, right? If you don't have trust, becomes really hard to be able to share all those ideas and communicate so freely. Team members who can see possibilities that don't exist yet. Dakota, yes, very outside the box. How do you go to the next place instead of just doing what is always being done? Learning from each other and collaborating, connection, everyone's ideas, accountability. Nicole, yes, that's important, right? And that's part of trust, is that somebody holds themselves accountable, we hold each other accountable, and make sure that we're doing that work. Commitment, communication, trust, and collaboration. Yeah, Jennifer, that's a good list. Team effort, strong work ethic, being proactive. Yeah, absolutely. Healthy collaboration and connections, communication, working together, and learning from others. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for contributing to that and adding into the chat. These are really important things for us to think about. And as we're moving through today and all the work that we do, those elements help us to not only work well together, but produce product and program that help our community. And that's what this work is all about. So really glad to hear all those ideas. And so we put together, I think, a really awesome agenda for you today. So we're going to do our trauma-informed systems in just a moment, and then we're going to share with you information about our Pearls program, one of our older adult programs in PEI, and you'll hear from several different folks about that program. We also are going to report out about Directing Change contest and our local event this year. And then we'll also talk about Suicide Prevention Month. It's coming up faster than we know it. September is around the corner, and we want to share with you some things that are coming and that we hope that you'll participate in. And then we'll have time for PEI provider updates and any additional community roundtable or announcements at the end. And so, with all those great ideas that you all talked about on what you love about what you value most in teams, this month's TIS principles are collaboration and empowerment, right along those lines. So I am going to stop sharing and turn the floor to Andrea Deaton, who is our TIS expert, who's going to do our moment with us.
Great. Thank you, Diana. What a very timely question for this month. It's almost like you did that on purpose. So I have a video to share with all of you today from Simon Sinek, someone else that knows a lot about collaboration and working together. And he's going to talk a little bit about how to build a culture together, because we can talk about how much we love all of those things about communication, connection, accountability, right? All these things we listed in the chat. But if it's not baked into the culture of our team or the place that we work, or we're not working to build that as part of our culture, then it's just words. And so he's going to talk a little bit about kind of how to create that culture. And so I'd love for you to listen and maybe share out afterwards something that you learned that you want to try to incorporate into your particular place that you spend so much of your time at work, or your particular team, or how it can impact the way that you serve the community. So that's what I'd love for you all to share. There are captions on the video, but they're the ones through YouTube, so they may not be exact. I apologize for that. I wasn't able to find this video with captions already programmed into it. But they are there for us if that's helpful, but again, they may not be exact. I apologize about that.
So one of the things that I think is misunderstood about leadership is that it's not just from the top. Leaders have to set the environment for sure, and leaders have to lead by example for sure. But this is our organization. This is your organization. Like nobody gets to sit on the sidelines and be like, all right, what have you done for me lately, right? I don't even mind negativity. People are like, oh my goodness, that person's such a negative Nelly. But because sometimes negative people who are in the fight and they're still willing they show up every day, they're great. It's when people are negative and they just stand on the sides and throw stones, and I don't mean like, bring me solutions. That's not what I mean. I mean just like you're in it. You're in the scrum and you're willing to be a part of it. So like you have to come to work here every day. There's a great story when Gordon Bethune took over Continental Airlines, which existed prior to United. They merged. it was a terrible airline. It was the worst rated airline in the country for every metric. And one of the things that was bad was the planes were always dirty. And the customers would always complain, and they would always get yelled at by management, clean the planes for the customer. The customers are complaining. And when Gordon Bethune showed up, he said, forget about the customer. They're on the plane, they're off the plane in 3 hours. You're going to have to do 4 more flights before your shift is done. Why don't you clean the plane for yourselves? Like, this is your office. Like, why don't you keep it nice for yourself? In fact, there's a funny statistic between UPS trucks and U.S. Postal Service trucks, which is U.S. Postal Service trucks, I think they only last about 2 years before they have to be replaced. And UPS trucks last something like 5 years before they have to get replaced. UPS, they clean their trucks every single day, and U.S. Postal Service trucks, they clean their trucks once a week. Because when you give somebody something really nice to work in, they look after it. And so, like, it becomes incumbent upon all of us to say, this is when we're talking about leadership, which is, if you see someone struggling, go to them. If you see someone who's unhappy, maybe, go to them. If somebody's stuck in a false narrative, maybe help them change their narrative. Give them a safe space to feel heard. Sometimes people just need to empty their bucket. Some people sometimes just need to vent and get it all out, and then they're actually fine. And sometimes what we do by mistake is try and interrupt them, correct the facts, fix the problem. And so we can be that. Like, you can be that for the people you work with. That's a huge part of it. Like, taking responsibility for the organization in which you work. Yes, leadership does bear some responsibility, of course, but I think everybody in the organization is included in that as well. We want people not to just fit the culture, but to be additive and contribute to the culture.
All right. So I'd love to hear those ideas in that quick less than 3 minutes that he shared with us, but things that you want to incorporate maybe into where you work. The really big theme I heard is about ownership, right? And that we can't just be like, oh, I just work. I jokingly say this often, oh, I just work here, but I don't just work here. I spend a lot of time here. And so I want to take ownership in the way that my team is functioning. And when my team isn't doing well, because we all have ups and downs and ebbs and flows, I take some responsibility of like, okay, well, how can I help fix this? So ownership was a big thing I heard him talking about, that we can't just show up and expect things to happen, that we actually, have to do something in order to make things change. So I'd love to hear from others of you. What did you take away? Thank you, Dakota, in the chat for us here, that negativity isn't necessarily a toxic problem. Let's look at what's needed to address it and discern if it's complaining or if there's a gap to address. I think that's an excellent perspective for us to be mindful of, because sometimes that venting is calling attention to things that really do need attention. What else? In between your bites of lunch, what else? Helping the empty bucket. Yeah. We have to be able to have that space to let go of ours and to also help other people when their bucket is empty, to help fill their bucket again. That's that other duty as assigned that's kind of always in our job description, is that connection with other folks.
I like the part where he shared about the trucks from, the difference between UPS and the postal office, and how he talks about having some pride on your space, on the things that you do. And, I think that is very important, right? When we take pride in the work that we do and the team that we do, with whatever resources that we have, we make it shinier and nicer. And it is very important to take that pride and ownership of and accountability for the things that we do.
I agree. Thank you, Michelle. Jose also shared in the chat that what they're taking away is taking ownership of our own team to make sure everyone's okay, and if something needs to be addressed, to address it. And then Martha also kind of echoed reaching out to those who are struggling within the workplace culture. That is my favorite concept in TIS, is the idea of connection, that we're hardwired to connect with other people. So Martha, you're speaking my language. Any other thoughts? Takeaways, lessons learned, things you're going to be brave and try at your space where you spend so much time? Okay, quiet group today. That's okay. You're all eating. I know it. It's lunchtime. So thank you, as always, Diana, for giving me some space here to keep preaching the good word about TIS and making sure our workspaces are healthy and happy places for not just the folks that we serve, but for the folks who provide that service. It's important for us to be taking good care of ourselves too. So thank you, as always.
Absolutely. And thank you, Andrea. That was a great presentation. I love Simon Sinek. And, eating a good meal at the proper lunchtime is also a good way of taking care of ourselves and each other too. So I do hope everyone's enjoying their lunch as well. All right. So moving through our agenda, next up, I would like to introduce one of the PEI staff development officers, Michelle Downs, who is going to talk with us about the Pearls program.
Thank you, Diana. Good afternoon. So 1 second, I'm going to share my presentation here. Super excited to do this today. And we are going to do this. I just have to get something here so I can see you guys there. So thank you again for being here. And I'm going to be sharing a little bit about Pearls, which is the program to encourage active and rewarding lives for seniors. It's a great program. And I will start telling you a little bit about Pearls' history, where this program come from. So Pearls began in the late 90s, and it started in Washington State when the director of the Aging and Disability Services in Seattle sought support from the University of Washington health promoting program research and said, okay, we want to reach out to older adults with depression, even those who do not have a clinical diagnosis, and support them in different ways. And from there, the partnership between the university and the local aging services providers led to develop Pearls and enhancing mental health support for older adults. Pearls is a shared partnership with community organizations and agencies focused on enhancing older adults' health and well-being. And the University of Washington Health Promotion Research Center offers Pearls training to help staff deliver the program to older adults nationwide. So it's spread in about 133 organizations across state. So it's across the place, and they offer training. There are monthly technical assistant meetings that you get to attend as a Pearls provider. They provide information. They give you more resources. There's a lot of communication between the providers talking about success, brainstorming together. If there are any updates that are also being shared there. So it's very interactive, the support that the Pearls providers have with the University of Washington. And if you need support, they're very good at getting back. So it's not one of those programs that get developed and becomes stagnant. The University of Washington is very involved in making sure that Pearls is successful. The Pearls principles is, making sure that it works on problem solving and behavioral activation and pleasant activity scheduling. So Pearls is not a clinical program in the sense of therapy, is not meant for that. It's an early intervention program with older adults who may have started, struggling with some of the challenges that come with adulthood, and is to prevent depression. So it works on helping them to problem solve, get active, and do some pleasant activities for this. The coaches educate the participants about common symptoms of depression and how there is a close link between depression and unsolved problems. The coaches are not clinical therapists, so it's very nice as well. And then the hope is with increased participation in social, physical, and pleasant activities, this will lead to decrease the depressive symptoms. Now, the history of Pearls in Riverside County, it starts in the fiscal year 2013 and 14, when PEI started providing the service, and it was provided in-house with behavioral health specialists. And it was done, that way, and it was very successful. And then at one point in 2019, it was awarded to a community provider. And right now we have one community provider for pearls across the county, which is Inland Caregiver Resource Center. And they're doing great. We all didn't know and expect that a pandemic was coming shortly after that. So something to keep in mind. But Inland Caregiver, or ICRC for short, are doing a wonderful job with the program. And you'll get to meet them shortly. So the program structure that we have right now, just so you have an idea, is the staff development officer, which is myself, helping and collaborating here at the RUHS side. And from RUHS, we also have a research and evaluation analyst, which is Darren Anderson. I don't know if he was able to join us today. And then we have the ICRC team, which is led by Jennifer Lopez, who you will meet in a little bit. And she is the program manager. She provides clinical supervision. Well, not necessarily clinical, because it's not clinical program, but support in any of the challenges and making sure that the program is monitored for fidelity, and that any of the challenges the coaches may have are discussed. And the coaches, we have Joshua Watson in the Mid-County region, Maria Mejia in the Western region, and Leon Garcia in the Desert region. We also have an outreach coordinator that does outreach for the entire county, Patty Rangel, and she works in collaboration because Pearls has a combination of the services, but there's a strong outreach component for it. So we have to find where the older adults are, right? And making sure that we are present in different events and different areas, trying to identify where are the places where the people may hang out. And because it's an early intervention, some of these older adults may not know that they need support yet, right? So what I meant to say, right, is that the program is 60 years and up. I make assumptions that everybody knows, so I apologize for that. And so Patty there is working with, the coaches as well to coordinate and find ways to get these referrals across the county. Now, let me tell you a little bit about last year, our statistics, which is the last year that we have. We're closing 24-25 right now, but for last year, we had 133 prospective participants that were screened, right? And Jennifer can tell you more about some of their experiences and whatnot when I finish, but we have to screen because there are certain parameters the participants have to meet. And then we served 109 participants in total. 76% of the participants served were women. And the predominant race percentages for served participants were 33% Hispanic or Latina, 14% Black and African American, one participant identified as Asian, and two participants identified as Native American. Some of the outcomes and highlights from last year. Countywide, the reduction in depression symptoms as measured by the PHQ-9 instrument was reduced 29% from moderate to mild countywide, which is really good. Countywide, the reduction in anxiety symptoms as measured by the G87 instrument was reduced 40% from moderate to minimal countywide. Countywide, the increase in physical activity as measured by the RAPA was not statistically significant for participants completing the program. This is an instrument that sometimes is very difficult to measure, as I've been told by our analyst, but that doesn't mean that there were no changes. It's just difficult to measure. And then the quality of life survey shows statistically significant improvement for participants in 8 of the 9 questions. So the program is very successful within the population that we serve. This is a graph for historical service and completion, starting from the beginning. As I said, it started in 2013 and 14, so we can see the graph. For a couple of years, we didn't have services, and then we started with ICRC. And we see the challenge, right? Because we entered the pandemic world, and that was very challenging for everybody, as we know. And things have changed since then. And so we have to rebuild those connections and start in many ways because going back to that normality, what we used to call normality before the pandemic, has been a struggle for most people. And so we're going that way, but as you can see, we're on our way. We're on our way back to recovery, and the ICRC team have done a wonderful work with this, and we can see in the completion rate, it's the same thing, right? So we're moving up to those levels, but overall is really good. The numbers are really good. And then we have some comments from our participants that have been left through the surveys when they complete the program. And I'll read them. This program helped me learn about my feelings. I learned to find solutions to help me feel better when stressed. It helped improve my quality of life and my self-esteem and helped me sleep better. I'm more social and I have faith in myself. I have courage to express myself. Pearls lowered my level of depression. I learned how to manage certain situations in my home and at work. I was pleasantly surprised how well it works. It wasn't easy at first, but through the process, it got easier and I got more comfortable. So these are testimonials from people, right? So we want to make sure at the end of the services that we collect also feedback from the participants to make sure that they got good services. What can we improve? What worked, what didn't work. So it's always very nice to hear this, get these comments of success. And we get many of them. So that is wonderful. And the program is provided in English and Spanish. And here is the contact information. If anyone is interested in connecting with ICRC, as I said, Jennifer is our program coordinator, and this is her email. You can always reach out to her. And this was just the introduction. I am going to stop sharing my screen now, and I am going to let Jennifer introduce herself today and the team and share a little bit more about their experience as providers and anything else you want.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer. I have been with ICRC since the very beginning. I started as a Pearls coach, counselor for Mid-County, and I'm so glad to be able to be leading our team now. I have all three of my counselors and Patty on the call. If you guys can turn on your camera so everybody could pick a face with a name. I have Leon Garcia, who is the Desert Region counselor. I have Joshua Watson, who's our Mid-County Pearls counselor. Maria Mejia, she's our Western. And it's been great. We do offer all of our services in English and Spanish. Like Michelle had mentioned, we're also responsible for our outreach. So we do have Patty in collaboration. It's a big role and task to be able to not only fish and provide resources and support to the community, but also reel them in and enroll them. So we always want that extra support. And our program is it's a unicorn. So it's not talk therapy, but it's therapeutic. So what we find often is our population that we serve, they're seniors 60 and over. And then it's prevention and early intervention. So we want a client who is willing to participate, who fits the criteria of our model, but also is willing to participate because this isn't talk therapy, but it's therapeutic. So if they're doing the model, they will find that in time, their symptoms will decrease. It is hard. That is a big feedback that we get when clients complete is this was hard. We get that actually throughout the program too, because the model is very structured and we stick to it. Oftentimes people hear our title, Pearls Counselors, and there's the assumption that it's talk therapy. So we use our title kind of interchangeably, Pearls Coach, Pearls Counselor. So our title, you might hear that again interchangeably. Coach is probably the more identifiable in that role of what we are, because we're really coaching them how to problem solve. Oftentimes they'll come in with a problem related to finances, housing, or food insecurity. And it's a high stress need for that client. And we're working with them to reduce their stresses. We're working with them to do more. We want to change that downward spiral back up, because when they feel bad and they do less. So we want to reverse that. So we're teaching them principles, we're teaching them skills that hopefully through the 8 sessions, they will feel better. Now, when I say 8 sessions, it's not 8 weeks. The entirety of our program could last anywhere from 4 to 6 months. And that doesn't include some 3 follow-up calls. So we do work with the clients for a longer period of time, but it's a teach me, I'm teaching them, now show me model. I'm going to teach them the work, the model, and now show me what you can do. And there's a lot of fine tuning with the client. So because of our population, it does tend to be a little bit harder, but once it clicks, it's actually very therapeutic for them. And it's so refreshing and heartwarming as I've been a Pearls counselor and now leading my team, it's very good to see. So I do have Josh Watson. He is with his client. I do have a client here on the call with us that I would like to introduce to everyone. She joined us to share a little bit about her experience with us. If we could pin Josh's client, he changed the name to Pearl's client. Hi, Joy. Thanks for being on the call with us.
Jennifer.
So I wanted to start by asking, how did you hear about Pearls?
Well, I've had many wonderful physicians in Riverside County. I heard about Pearls when I was working at the senior center in Sun City. Also, I heard about it at my yoga class in Sun City, the new as Menifee, but say Sun City. And also before COVID, I worked for the city of Hemet. And
So you saw a lot of our brochures, a lot of our logos out in the community.
Interject with that, okay? When I went for the city of Hemet, I went to the library, okay? And I'm going to get out there networking and everything because I know a lot of people, excuse me, Jennifer, the city of Hemet with law enforcement. And a lot of people do not know about Pearls. They really don't. Even my doctor's office in that. And I've got this stuff. I'm very proud of myself with this. Pearls stands for P for program, E for encourage, A for action, R for rewards, L for life seniors. Did I get it right?
Great job. I'm so delighted that not only are you participating, but you do acknowledge that there's not still, with the amount of outreach that we've done, we haven't reached everybody. There are still a lot of seniors that we could serve.
Yes.
And that you learned the acronym. That is so, I'm so touched by that. Great job. Another question. Does the Pearls counselor coming to your home make it easier for you to participate? And did that impact your decision to be able to participate?
Yes, certainly one in a home. Yes.
Great. Have you found the foundation of Pearls to be a good platform for you to start making change through problem solving?
Yeah, 100%. I'll give an example. We do the assessment when he comes in and we talk and everything. And I love the scale that he uses on the program sheet as a perfect example. I love my Sun City. I'm very involved in Sun City and the library. Well, the challenge with that is that I have a license, but now I don't have transportation. So we work through this as an example. It takes me an hour and a half to get the bus from Hemet to downtown Sun City and the library and everything. An hour and a half to come back. Bottom line of all that, it takes a lot of time and energy being on the bus. But I got to the point like last Friday, I said, I'm going to do this. And my confidence was 10. Because I looked at it this way. My birthday was Monday and I was going to do it on the 28th, but I did it last Friday. So yeah, it really builds your confidence, your self-esteem. It's a wonderful.
And I love that you shared the tidbit about the confidence scale. That is towards the end of the worksheet where we do want to rate how confident you are. And based on that, we know, what is your commitment to be able to work through everything that we just talked about. And you said it perfectly, that confidence, it helps build, your self-esteem, and just that alone points you right in the direction of that upward spiral.
Been a challenge because I love to drive. I was born in New York and raised in Rhode Island, and not to have a car in the Hemet area, I lived in Sacramento for years. It's been a challenge to even all the people that I'm around say, you take an hour and a half to get from.
That's on a good day.
At it because I really like to talk to people, and it's an experience. And I've been doing it for a few years now. But last Friday I figured, yeah, my birthday's going to be special. And I did it. And I go, wow. And it's amazing the things that you can do when you believe in yourself and you care for yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I do want to take a moment and acknowledge happy birthday.
Thank you.
And then one more question that I just thought of because you mentioned it. What is it like for you, Joy, to be part of a program where Joshua is not giving you the answer or a resource? He's really working with you on problem solving and you working through that. What is that like for you?
It's been a real challenge. It's been a real challenge, but it makes me look at my life in a new perspective. It's like, all right, you're having these challenges, you're having these difficulties. I don't particularly like the word problems, everybody. I look at them as challenges in my life, and it's been wow. And it's step by step. Some days you're going, okay, I'm not going to do that, but I've always been a firm believer to rise and go ahead because you can't go back. No, you can't. You have to go forward. So I know the time I will have a car again. And yes, it's a fantastic program, but you have to basically believe in yourself. And you have to do this. And there's so many seniors. Like I said, I worked at the senior center in Sun City. I work for the city of Hemet and the library. I've had some fantastic jobs. I also worked for the county of Riverside for a while and program where I did clerical. So I am, yes, but my own struggles got to the point where, okay, let's take action and go do something. Yeah.
Lastly, Joy, would you recommend Pearls or Joshua in Mid-County in the community that you live in to anybody that you saw would benefit?
Yes, big time. Yes, I definitely would. He is I'll say, he's a godsend. He is a fantastic man and he's a good man. Oh, yes. Also, I'll have to add why I know a lot about seniors. I used to be a nursing assistant and a CNA, and I've worked many, many places with seniors, and I've seen a lot. And this program, may I ask, when did Pearls begin?
Pearls started with Inland Caregiver Resource Center back in 2018.
Oh, not that really long, huh? Okay. Yes.
But I believe that on the slide it was 2014 when it started with the county.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, at the Riverside,
Yes.
right? And I asked Josh about this. I lived in many years in Orange, Sacramento. Is Pearls in Orange County? Do-
Um, Last fiscal year, Pearls started opening up. I know they're offering Pearls in a lot other counties.
Right.
I'm sorry, on Orange County, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I can find out for you.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much, Joy, for your time and your ability to meet with us today.
So kind. Take good care of yourself. Yes.
Thank you.
You.
Back to you, Michelle. Or does anybody have any questions for me specifically about Pearls, about our services, how to submit a referral? I can share our referral with Michelle and that can be mailed out.
Anyone? Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you, Josh and Joy, for being here today, for sharing all that wonderful feedback. But yeah, anybody has any questions for Jennifer, um, or about the program that we may not have covered? All right. Well, that then concludes the Pearls highlight for the program. And oh, there's a question in the chat right before we go. So Martha Burns is asking, any particular problem-solving techniques?
So the model, the session, it in and of itself is the technique. What stands out and how I want to answer this is the problem just has to be specifically addressed, and the goal is a SMART goal. So we want it to be specific, measurable, attainable, and time bound. And the problem, what I have come to notice is the problem is never the problem, and it's not about validity of the client, but it's more, it could, to give you an example, my daughter is not talking to me. Could be how the client starts the session. And we want to get to the root is that, are you feeling lonely? Because we can't help the client change that relationship that the daughter, we're not working with the daughter. So we more explore it from, are you lonely? Are you needing some connection? Was your daughter the only person you connected with? So we're asking some questions to be more specific. So yes, the problem that the client identified at first, my daughter's not talking to me, but the problem is I'm feeling lonely. And the goal would be to increase some socialization, decrease loneliness, and then we work on how to do that. Um, so the model itself is the technique.
How many
There are
sessions in the model? Oh yeah, sorry.
there are 8 sessions in the model, and they're formulated in that. I'm going to teach you the model, and you're going to show me that you got it, you understood, and we're going to fine tune it through these 8 sessions. So session 1, 2, and 3, we're meeting weekly. Then for session 4 and 5, they're every 2 weeks. And then session 6, 7, and 8 are once every 4 weeks. So it's a strength building, problem solving. We're working on increasing autonomy. All that's all happening at once.
Any other questions? All right, looks like we're good. So thank you, Jennifer, and thank you, Pearls team, for being here. And Diana, back to you.
Yeah, awesome job. Thank you, Michelle, Jennifer, and the coaches, and Joy as well. So glad to have you with us today. Great to hear from those that are impacted by our programs. So thank you guys. That was terrific. Moving through our agenda, I would like to introduce behavioral health specialist with the PEI team, Annie Marie Morales, and she is going to talk with you all about directing change.
Hello. I'm going to share about the 2024 to 2025 Directing Change. Some of you may not know Directing Change is a program and field contest. It's part of California's mental health movement, Take Action for Mental Health, and several statewide efforts to provide suicide, prevention, reduce stigma related to mental illness, and to promote the mental health of students. These efforts are funded by counties through the Mental Health Services Act, formerly known as Prop 63. When students participate in the Directing Change film contest, they're given knowledge about mental health, suicide prevention, then asked to apply this knowledge with their experiences and perspectives to create a 60-second PSA on various topics surrounding mental health and suicide prevention. Students receive support from school advisors and Directing Change staff throughout the filmmaking and submission process. So here we have listed the categories for the Directing Change entries. This contest allows students to submit films within the following categories, which are suicide prevention, mental health matters, through the lens of culture, animated short, walk in our shoes, and then lastly, hope and justice. So I'm just going to talk about each one a little. Suicide prevention, the goal for these films is to share information about suicide prevention, resources, and warning signs for suicide in a way that is hopeful and encourages others to ask for help. The mental health matters category. Films in this one is help to end the silence about mental illness by openly talking about mental health, using a positive and educational storyline that emphasizes the importance of seeking help when you need it and supporting a friend that will help. Through the lens of culture, explores the topics of suicide prevention and mental health with a focus on how culture can influence how and if we talk it can influence how we talk about mental health and then how we actually get help, what kind of help, and then who we seek that help from. Animated short is a category that filmmakers share information about the warning signs for suicide and how to support a friend through the magic of animation. Walk in Our Shoes is a category specifically for middle school students, and these films show what it's like to walk in our shoes of someone experiencing a mental health challenge. The film's intended to stir up compassion for others and show actions that can help be taken. Um, Hope and Justice category is a category where students can submit film and artwork that instills hope to help others through rough times, tells a story that provides knowledge, and encourages young people to take a stand against injustice, sorry. And then there's also monthly prompts available for various topics. And then next slide, please. So for the 2024 to 2025 submissions, statewide, we had received 1,268 film submissions created by 3,161 youth from 172 schools and community-based organizations representing 34 California counties and the Tri-City area. And for the Riverside County level, we had a total of 251 films submitted, and that was from 23 schools across the county and community-based organizations. And it was a total of 555 students that participated. I'm sorry, I should say youth. And then for the 2025 statewide award ceremony, specifically now it's Youth Creating Change. They held their 13th annual Directing Change Film Contest award ceremony at the historic United Theater in Los Angeles on Thursday, May 22nd. The event was attended by over 700 middle school, high school students, parents, judges, mental health providers, and entertainment professionals. The event created excellence in mental health storytelling and included screenings of youth-created films from across California. Youth musical performance was held, announcement of statewide contest winners, and a range of esteemed guest speakers and presenters. And there's some pictures from this year. And then next slide. And then Riverside County had the pleasure of hosting an event through RUHS and RCOE. The annual Riverside Directing Change screening and recognition ceremony was held at the Fox Theater in Riverside on Thursday, May 15th. The event was attended by nearly 300 students, educators, local judges, mental health providers, families, and other community members. We celebrated the inspirational and thought-provoking artwork created by Riverside County youth this academic year and honored the art of mental health storytelling through film, music, and art. This year, we continued the elements such as the Hope and Justice Art Walk Gallery to honor the monthly contest winners and had a musical performance by the November Hope and Justice first place winners. I don't think they were first place. I think they were third place. I'm sorry. And this was truly a night to remember. And then I'm also going to be sharing some of our first place winners from our local judging process. And then I'd also like to note that Riverside County received many honorable mentions and awards at the regional and statewide level as well. So then the first category I'm going to share with you is suicide prevention. Um, and they're from, sorry. So this is the first place winner for the suicide prevention category by students from Ramona High School titled If You See Something. I just want to know before we share it with you today that the regional winners in the statewide for this category were first place Capture a Life by Ramona High School. Second place was Future Self by Martin Luther King High School. And third place was Bet You Didn't Know by Temecula Valley High School. So please enjoy our first place winner at the Riverside County level.
Lately, I've noticed concerning things about my friend Lily. She's been ignoring her friends, getting bad grades in classes she used to love, and isolating herself. It's been weeks of this, and I've been too afraid to say anything. But I was really concerned. I didn't know what she was going to do, so I finally decided to just ask.
Are you thinking about suicide? Actually, I have been.
After that, Lily told me that she's been very overwhelmed with balancing school, work, family, and extracurriculars, and it's been impacting her mental health seriously. I told her that I've been worried about her for a while, but didn't want to pry or intrude on her well-being. She actually thanked me for asking, and said she was going to talk to one of the counselors at our school. I'm so happy I talked to her, because who knows what she would have done if I hadn't. If you see something, say something.
All right. And then next, we're going to be sharing our first place winner at Riverside County for the category of mental health matters. Sorry, next slide.
I don't know what happened to my screen.
Oh,
Let me start over. Hold on. Here we go.
there it goes. Okay. So, oops. So the first place for mental health matters category, we have the film Forward, created by Cash Rios and Reyes Islas from Temecula Valley High School. This video won third place at the regional statewide level. And then regional winners for the statewide in this category was second place Under Pressure from Heritage High School. So go ahead and enjoy our first place winners at the Riverside County level.
I will always be alone, I say to myself. This is the last time I will be happy. If I get help, it's useless. I can't go any further. Without any help, I'll be fine.
I think it stopped.
Without any help, I can't go any further. It's useless. If I get help, I will be happy. This is the last time I say to myself, I will always be alone.
All right, and now we have um, our category through the lens of culture. In first place for this category, we have Reach Out by students at John F. Kennedy Middle College High School. And then I just want to mention in the statewide contest, Ramona High School Behind the Curtain won second place for this category. So please enjoy Reach Out.
No one has the same cultural struggles as I do.
I don't resonate with those around me or my culture.
I'm not good enough for my culture, but I'm not good enough for any culture.
I just wish someone would reach out.
You never know how your differences can bring people together.
Reach out. Our diversity isn't a barrier, it's our strength.
All right. And then next we have the Hope and Justice category. First place for the Hope and Justice category went to Marilyn Sanders from Heritage High School for the film I Love Your Hair. And she also took first place at the statewide level for the Hope and Justice category as well. So please enjoy I Love My Hair.
Coily, kinky, nappy, textured, thick. It's everything to me. But why? I spend so much time, tears, discard so many broken brushes and bands of rubber. Beautiful. The desire to look beautiful, feel beautiful. I hate it. The way it lays, it frizzes, how short it is, the inability to be quiet in a room full of straight, calm heads of hair. It's not just hair. It consumes me, defines me. Variations of myself staring back at me with pity in my eyes, showing their true emotion with each hairstyle I choose. Each gaze, suffocatingly scrutinizing. I feel judged. People think I look weird, strange, ugly. I love your hair. 4 words. Meaningless words. I mean, how could you love something so unlovable? Admire something so hideous? I love your hair. My mom smiles. Her hair, similar to mine, yet beautiful. I feel a sense of comfort, confiding in others. They understand the hate and disdain of something we can't control. Together we are beautiful. I love your hair.
All right, and then the last category is animated short. For the animated short category, our first place for Riverside County Films was awarded to Anna Farm from Heritage High School for her film Silent Gaze. She also won 5th place at the statewide contest for the animated short category. So please enjoy Silent Gaze.
It's odd how words can impose their way inside of you. A small remark, comment, meant or not, becoming deeply strong. You constantly start to ponder about whether you are wrong, too different, or too strange to possibly feel right. The heavy negative thoughts make you feel on your own, causing you to think of yourself off of someone's perspective of you. But even as you go through these feelings, there are those who worry over you. Your feelings are relevant and so are your words. There is hope. Call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Sorry, I just realized I said the wrong title of the film. It's The Weight of Words by from Hillcrest High School. My apologies. So next we're going to go through the art gallery walk. So please enjoy the artwork created by Riverside County students. This is the second year that our local ceremony was preceded by an art exhibit featuring the amazing artwork of young creators across Riverside County. Today, I will share the monthly Hope and Justice winners for 2024 to 2025 academic year. And I'd also like to note that several students also received honorable mentions at the statewide level for their art in music, film, and in this category. So the first one we have is for the month of April. April's contest asks youth to create art, film, or written works to show how they cope with life when it gets tough and how they deal with setbacks or keep hope alive when things look dark. This month's second place winner was Cassandra De La Rosa from San Jacinto High School. Here's what Cassandra had to say about their artwork. This piece serves as a visual reminder, inspiring viewers to find hope even in the darkest moments and encouraging them to reflect on their experiences. It invites them to embrace resilience, believe in their own strength, and to hold on to the unwavering light of hope. Okay. For May, the contest prompt asks youth to create art, film, or written works or audio pieces about how they cope with tough times and changes they want to see in their communities, and exploring the impact of social media on mental health. For May, we also asked youth to incorporate lime green ribbons for Mental Health Awareness Month. May's second place winner was awarded to Cassandra De La Rosa from San Jacinto High School. Here's what Cassandra had to say about this piece. While social media may create a sense of connection, it can also be a source of isolation, distraction, and false perceptions of reality. The different emojis, likes, and numbers surrounding the person suggest that social media focuses too much on superficial interactions and metrics, rather than genuine human connections. Social media can contribute to the feelings of comparison and low self-esteem. So that's the winner for me. And then for the months of summer, it's from June to August, and we ask students to create art, narratives, and more about how they're taking care of their mental health this summer. For Hope and Justice Summer Contest, first place was awarded to Cassandra De La Rosa of San Jacinto High School. Here's what Cassandra had to say about her artwork. My submission highlights the importance of taking care of our mental health and compares it to taking care of our planet. Our mental health is a delicate system that requires careful attention, just like a fragile plant. When we provide the right conditions, it can flourish remarkably. And she received first place for the summer contest. And then for the month of June to August for the summer contest, we had third place was awarded to Shayla Long of Valley View High School. Here's what Shayla had to say about her artwork. My submission is a digital art piece meant to portray myself painting a self-portrait. Art has always been an outlet for my emotions. When there aren't any words to describe how I'm feeling, no one for me to express my emotions to, I start drawing and painting. To me, the process of creating art is calming. It helps me reflect on myself greatly. Contrary to what people might believe, I believe that being able to express yourself through art isn't exclusive to people who identify as artists. Anyone can create art because behind every art piece is emotion, and we all have emotions. And for the month of October, we had asked youth to create artwork through how they cope with tough times, changes that they want to see in their community, or exploring how they've been taking care of their mental health during this election, as well as what represents in elected leaders through them. First place was awarded to Landon White of Landmark Middle School for the Justice category. Here's what Landon had to say about her artwork. London, sorry. Life is hard enough, but we have to continue to combat issues that shouldn't exist to begin with. My submission is about racism. And then we're going to go ahead and play it.
Person once says to me, "Hey London, would you be offended if we called and referred to you as a rat?" Person 2 joins in and says, "Yeah, or a monkey." Are you kidding me? Would real friends still ask me that? Hear my answer? What would be the point? Did someone ever teach me? They're seriously waiting. Go on, say it. Do people really consider this piece of your mind? Why am I a joke? Yes, I would. It's people like this that infuriate me. Apparently, the two people who said this to me had saw the same thing done in a TikTok. However, in this TikTok, it was not a black person that they said it to. I just don't get how referring to someone you consider your friend as an animal can be funny. Not everything you see on the internet is a joke and needs to be repeated in real life.
All right, and then for the November month, for our Hope and Justice category, we asked youth to create pieces about how they cope with tough times, changes they want to see in their community, and reflecting on where they've come from, the circumstances and people that have shaped them, or what is in the stars for their future. November's prompt also promoted the Saluna app by asking you to submit special entries, highlight the app, and helping share information about ways young people can benefit from using it. Second place was awarded to artists David Gyron, Guillermo Munoz Jr., and Nathan Garcia, Julian Garcia of Jurupa Valley High School. Here's what they said about their submission. Our submission shows a young kid who is struggling with heartbreak and loneliness and is able to overcome that loneliness by using the Saluna app. Please enjoy.
My name is Aaron. I'm a high school student in California. I also have spinal muscular atrophy, a disease that causes severe muscle weakness. Having a serious medical condition can...
I think this did this the last time we played it too. I'm going to go to the next slide.
Okay, so our January contest asked students about sharing their uplifting power of music and its relationship to mental health. Second place was awarded to Natalia Mata of Arlington High School. Here's what Natalia had to say about her submission. My entry is a piece that is felt very close to the heart and I felt is best to relate the topic of hope. In many ways, I find writing music a coping strategy. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Strategy when facing any overwhelming obstacles headed my way. With my best intention, I wish to share this specific writing to help those in times of struggle. The song references a certain point in my life where I felt loneliness to a deeper extent. It was hard seeking help when I didn't know how to help myself. And with that, I dealt with long, hard nights that I know are challenging to face. Okay, so go ahead and play in the present. And then next we have continued January prompt about sharing their uplifting power of music and its relationship to mental health. This was our third place winner, and it was awarded to Christian Moreno from the Tay Stepping Stone. Christian was also our 2025 live performance at this year's Directing Change ceremony. Here's what Christian had to say about his submission. Music and songwriting helps me find a voice that I previously could not bring out myself and helps me with my mental health challenges, anxiety and depression. The Grizz persona is someone who is not afraid to speak out about what he is feeling. Lyrics to the song, Long Ahead and Up the Road, the consistent struggles that I find never fail to keep me up. I swear this happens every time. Always battled my depression, but this time I crossed the line. Allowed myself to journey inside the intoxicated mind. I reached a new height. So that's what he had to say about it. Please enjoy Grizz.
Longer heading up the road, the constant struggles that I find never fail to keep me up. I swear this happens every time. Always battle my depression. This time I crossed the line, allowed myself to journey inside my intoxicated mind. I've reached a new height. Didn't pass out after some Hennessy. Build another cup because I'm drinking to my legacy. Remain to myself, not someone else that you pretend to be. I thought I lost my cool, but I was just another memory. Who am I to think I couldn't shine without a new flame? Trying to spark a match, this kind of weather give me joy, pain. LMFAO, I'm down in shots, I still have no shame. I could never build a buzz, I'll be remembered as a no name. Now is not the time to sober up, I still can't think straight. The many complications that I have inside my new brain. Gotta save myself, I can't afford another delay. So this is what it's like to be productive on a weekday. Productive on a weekday. What? Productive on a weekday. Productive on a weekday. Okay. Productive on a weekday. All of your socials are stopping you being vocal. You crave attention from views, likes, and comments on your photos. You can miss a couple of texts to call some people when you solo. Gave it another chance, but you so proof that it's a no-go. I'm not a game to play. Stop disrespecting me. I'm not really busy, but making it up along the way. I'm really trying to step on out of my comfort zone. So please excuse me for getting soft on a different tone. My last left me a broken mess, I was all alone. Screaming for help, I broke my walls, turning into stepping stones. Can I be blamed for feeling it deep inside my bones? Don't want to fight, all I really want is a second home. Productive on a weekday. Productive on a weekday. Yep. Productive on a weekday. Okay. Productive on a weekday. Yeah. Productive on a weekday. Okay. Productive on a weekday. Productive on a weekday. One more time. Productive on a weekday.
All right. And then again, we have Marilyn Sanders with I Love Your Hair. She won second place for the Hope and Justice monthly film contest. She also won first place for the Riverside County level, and then she won first place at the state level for the Hope and Justice film contest, and she won for the monthly submission. So I don't know if we want to watch it again or okay.
No, yeah, we'll go.
All right. And then, so next we have for February, Book Bands by Shayla Long of Valley View High School was awarded third place. Here's what Shayla had to say about her submission. It's absolutely outrageous to me that books and information can be banned. Oftentimes, these books are labeled as inappropriate as a way to justify silencing them. So there's her artwork. And that was the 2024 to 2025 submissions and winners. We encourage you to visit directingchangeca.org/Riverside County for more information about the annual Directing Change Film Contest or to participate in the monthly Hope and Justice Contest. Films from the Directing Change Contest through this year are are easily accessible online and available for your use. These can be used in a clinical setting to start discussions with youth, as well as in school and community settings, to increase education and awareness about mental health and reduce the stigma associated with mental health. And then lastly, we just encourage any youth that you may know, ages 12 to 25, to participate in the Directing Change program and film contests during the 2025 to 2026 academic year. Monthly submissions are now being accepted. So thank you again for your time and attention.
Awesome. Thank you, Annie. Great presentation. Any questions or comments? I'm looking at the chat because I can't see the chat when I screen share. But yeah, Cassandra De La Rosa, she is talented, does a lot of these entries. And in fact, one of our outreach shirts is one of Cassandra's pieces of art from last year or 2 years ago. And we got her permission to put it on an outreach shirt. And so if you ever see our team out there and with a big hand-drawn portrait in the back, that's Cassandra as well. All right. Well, if there's no questions or comments, I'm going to move us right along. And Annie is going to continue sharing. I need to pull up that. Hold on 1 second. And I'm going to pull up a slide deck. She is going to start talking with us now about Suicide Prevention Month. Oh, wait. I think that's the wrong one. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Did you save the most recent one in the folder?
I mean, I can do it, but I can.
Annie.
I was gonna say, yeah, unless I didn't save to the, hold on.
One moment, folks. All right, I got it. I'm going to do this. I got one. Hold
Okay.
on.
I just received it just in case, but it's a
Okay. You're up.
okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Annie Marie, and I have the pleasure of assisting with our Riverside County Suicide Prevention Coalition. So today I'd like to share about this year's Suicide Prevention Awareness Month efforts. This year's theme for Suicide Prevention Month focuses on reaching out. And that's whether it's reaching out for yourself, reaching out for a loved one, just how we can start the conversation to help reach out. So the month of September, we recognize Suicide Prevention Week from September 7th through to September 13th, and World Suicide Prevention Day is September 10th. We all have a role in preventing suicide prevention, and that includes preventing loneliness in our communities for people of every age. Even people who have not had mental health issues in the past may experience suicidal thoughts and actions due to loneliness. This is where we step up and step in and reach out for help. Next slide. So coming soon, I know it's a little early, so they haven't released it yet. So be on the lookout in the month of August. If you visit takeactionformentalhealth.com/toolkits, they always release a suicide prevention toolkit. They're downloadable. So PEI isn't going to receive any physical items this year. However, there are many downloadable resources, activities provided in the online toolkit. Toolkits are available in both English and Spanish, and recently they've been adding more languages such as Mandarin. So they might have different things available and offered. This year's theme, Zoom backgrounds, web banners, social media posts, and so much more will be available very soon. So just be on the lookout through the month of August. And then, of course, when we do get it, we do send it out in our email list as well. So, next slide. And then here is a sneak peek. Again, we're just waiting on that toolkit just to finalize the theme and some artwork and then provide links available. So in addition to participating in the Suicide Prevention Week activities, Riverside County has also released a full calendar of local events and an activity guide to recognize these important events. So as you can see, there's a daily activity, resources, phone numbers, a lot of great things on the calendar for the month of September. And then next, I'd like to spend a few minutes highlighting some of the trainings and special events listed on this year's calendar. So the first one is our Stand Against Stigma presentation, is done by our peers. It's going to be held September 8th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And it's held virtually. So if you want to go ahead and scan the QR code, you can register now. Stand Against Stigma presentation. It gives us an opportunity to be inspired by hearing others share their lived experience, their strength and their hope, and their recovery with mental illness. And then some more suicide prevention presentation and trainings. First off, we have Mental Health 101 that will be held September 3rd from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. virtually on Zoom. Mental Health 101 training focuses on understanding mental health, understanding the difference between mental health and mental illness, mental health spectrum, stigma reduction, risk and protective factors, and available resources throughout Riverside County. We also will be offering Applied Suicide Intervention Skills Training, ASSIST, which was designed to be an interactive workshop that teaches participants how to recognize when someone may be at risk for suicide and work with them to create a plan that will support their immediate safety. Participants must be 16 or older to attend an ASSIST workshop. This is a 2-day training available in English on Tuesday, September 9th and Wednesday, September 10th from 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. So all day. And then we will also offer a adult mental health first aid on Tuesday, September 9th from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. This full day training is designed to help people learn how to recognize the signs of mental health or substance use challenges in adults ages 18 and older, how to offer and provide initial help, and how to guide a person toward appropriate care if necessary. Topics covered include anxiety, depression, psychosis, substance use and addiction, trauma, and self-care. And that is in person at our Ruston Conference Center. And then on Wednesday, September 10th from 9 a.m. to 12:30, we will host a Safe Talk. It's a 3.5-hour training that prepares participants to identify persons with thoughts of suicide and connect them to suicide first aid resources. Those who attend this training are better able to identify people who are having thoughts of suicide and move beyond common tendencies to dismiss, or avoid suicide. Participants must be 15 years or older to attend, and that will be in person at the Ruston Conference Center. On September 11 from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., we will offer a virtual self-care and wellness training focusing on understanding how stress affects the body, and both in psychological, spiritual, interpersonal, and physical impacts, strategies to help you manage stress and build resiliency, as well as how to connect available resources throughout the county. And then on September 15th from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., we'll be hosting a virtual Building Resiliency and Understanding Trauma training. This training will cover understanding and defining trauma, the different types of trauma, the impacts of trauma on the brain, child traumatic stress, adverse childhood experiences, adverse community experiences, and resiliency, and being trauma informed. And then on Tuesday, September 23rd from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., we will offer a Know the Signs training. We invite you to register for this webinar to learn how to recognize the warning signs for suicide, find the words to ask directly about the signs, and how to connect the person in distress to local resources. Also on the 23rd, we offer youth mental health first aid from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And it's a full day training designed to help people learn how to recognize the signs of mental health or substance use challenges in youth. To register for any of our virtual or in-person trainings, just scan the QR code now and you can register.
Oh. Sorry, you got fancy on me there.
All right. And then this year we have our Riverside County Out of Darkness walks. Please join us for them. It's the third year the Suicide Prevention Coalition is partnering with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, also known as AFSP, to support our local Out of Darkness community walks. The first walk is located in the western region of the county at Fairmont Park in Riverside on October 4th. Check-in begins at 9 a.m. Scan the QR code on the left to register to walk, donate, and more. Our second walk will be in the desert region at the Palm Desert Civic Center Park in Palm Desert on October 25th. Check-in begins at 9 a.m. If you want to scan the QR code to the right to register to walk, donate, and more. Every person that joins our team will receive a Suicide Prevention Coalition team shirt while supplies last. And it's a great event, and we definitely encourage everyone to come out, experience it, and be a part of our team. And registration is now open. You can scan the QR code or visit thrivcospc.org to register for our 4th annual Suicide Prevention Conference, which will be held October 2nd at the Palm Springs Convention Center. This year's theme is Postvention as Prevention, Supporting Suicide Loss Saves Lives. So please mark your calendars, register. It'll be a great full day of learning, networking, collaboration to help make Riverside County a suicide-safer community. We will have breakout rooms, a panel of individuals with lived experience. We serve light breakfast as well as a plated lunch, various giveaways throughout the day. So we really hope you'll come and learn with us and register. All right. So thank you again for hearing what we have coming up for Suicide Prevention Month. I just want to remind you that we all have a role to play in preventing suicide prevention. So please participate, share the word, and just go ahead and help us step in and reach out to help. I think that's what I was trying to say.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you, Annie. Yeah, that's terrific. Any questions? So we have tons of great activities coming up, and we hope that we are going to see you all and that you share this information with those that you serve and work with. We'd love to have a great showing at both Riverside County Out of Darkness walks, and of course, we want all of you there at our conference this year as well. So we hope you mark your calendars and get registered and spread the word. All right, so if there's no questions or comments about those presentations, we are now at the point in our agenda where we all stop talking and we open the floor to you. So are there any PEI providers in the room today that have any updates or announcements they want to share? Please feel free to unmute or put something in the chat.
My name is Jose Flores. I'm with CFLC's Empower Youth Program and representing Strengthening Families. And so we're going to be starting new family groups in September. In Hemet on Tuesday, we're going to be hosting our family group consisting of Hemet Unified School District, San Jacinto Unified School District, and San Jacinto Valley Academy families. And then on Thursdays, we're going to be hosting another one starting made up of families from Val Verde Unified School District. So we're looking forward to that for another 14 weeks, and we're excited about it.
Awesome. Thanks, Jose. Any other PEI provider have announcements or updates they want to share? I'll also open it up in general. If there's anyone in the room that has an announcement that they want to give, now's the time to do it. So you might have a group starting, a class coming up. Let us know how to refer to your organization or your program, any events for the community that you might be hosting or attending.
I can share a little bit.
Hi, April. Yeah.
Hi. So I'm April Smith. I'm the Behavioral Health Director for Family Services Association. And we have a program, it's called Chat. So it is free therapy for children ages 5 to 17 if they've experienced any form of trauma. So that covers just a whole lot of things, but we work with students. They can come here to the clinic here in Reno Valley, or we also do telehealth, but yeah, it's completely free. So it's called our chat program. So I'll put the information in the chat too, like how to refer anybody, but nice free resource in the community.
Terrific. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Other announcements?
Can I share something, Diana?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Oh, can I also? Okay, let me see if it'll pop up. But we are going to be starting a new round of parenting group. This time around, it's going to be in Korean and it's going to be in our office. The days are from August 26th to October 14th from 10 to 11:30. This is the flyer in English, and on top is the Korean. Am I able to also put the file in this chat so that anyone that has community members can also share?
Yeah, absolutely. You should
Thank
be able
you.
to drop it in there. And if you can't, let us know. And you can just send that to Miriam. She'll get it out to the group after.
Okay.
Thank you, Luciana. Other updates or announcements? All right, quiet group today. That's all right. I hope that you enjoyed the presentations that we shared with you today. We hope that you'll spread the word about the Directing Change program and film contest that will start again when school opens up. And a monthly contest will be in play all year. And then the annual contest is always due March 1st of every school year. So if you work with any young people between 12 and 25, encourage them to enter the contest. And then we would also invite them to our local recognition ceremony that we are planning once again for this coming May. And then please remember to mark your calendar for all those fabulous events in September to recognize Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. And we hope to see you at all of the events. So if there's nothing else, I'm going to let you have some time back to your day. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. We really appreciate it and are glad to spend some time with you. And we'll see you at the next one.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody.